Well, hello, YouTubers. Hey, today I found another stick that I'm going to turn into a walking stick. This time, it's a nice stick that has a little crook to it, but it's very sturdy, and it's called a walking stick with a hook, or a hooked walking stick, or a walking stick. Did I say walking stick with a hook? Just wait and see. We'll see how I did it. First, we're going to get this sanded down to a reasonable finish. Then we'll get started. Or maybe we're already started. I don't know. I got this positive pressure hood here. Now we got it pretty smooth all the way down through here. Now I'm using 150 grit right now. Then I'm going to go to a 220. But like a little bit on this end, there's a lot of little crooks on this end here, so it's going to take a little longer. It's going to be a nice sturdy stick. We'll be back then and we'll see what we can do at this end of the stick. I wanted to make a grab hook like on the end of this, which might be very useful to reach up and pull a vine down, maybe a mulberry limb or something, pull down, get some nice berries off of it. And then I also got some stripes around here that I'm going to carve on the inside of here and a little down into here and up into here. There's going to be a little raised area here and dimples all around in here. So you'll see what I'm talking about when we get to that. Go into the bandsaw and cut a little of that off, save some grinding, just straight off here, straight off here. Save a lot of carving here on the bench. So I'll get that done, I'll come right back and get to working on it. A lot of wood has been removed, and I'm gonna round this up here and down into here, and then I'm gonna knock these edges off and we'll be done with that. So let's get started with that. Let's see what it looks like. So see, I put a ball in my smaller 4,500 RPM electric grinder here. And I'm gonna pull my head down. I'm gonna go all the way around just outside here, and then we'll square it up later. Okay, now that feels pretty good in the hand up here, and this will be the grip area. We're going to sander now and go over all this, and then I think we've got some round bits like this one, and I think that's the one we'll use. I'm going to get the biggest round one that I have, and we were going to dimple this handle right in here, and I'll show you how to do that after we get that. And we'll know this is sanded. We want to get our magic marker off of this here and down here. So let's get that sanded, and we'll be right back and do the dimples. Okay, now the general idea here is have the little round ball bit in my 4,500 RPM unit. Buy it on Amazon. Got a link below if you want to check it out. But what I'm doing now, I'm going to put little dimples all over this thing, and it'll take a while. I'm just going to show you how I get started. I'll hold the bit as straight in as possible, and I'll just set the first one down. But you definitely get the idea. But you see how that's looking there. That feels real good. That's going to make a good grip. Now this one could be a choice of one that's been given away. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if any of you watching would like to have this one. I sure can consider giving it away. But be sure, not this video, but the next video, there'll be a secret word that you use. Leave in the comments, and you will be made eligible for the drawing for a free walking stick. We'll be back when I get the rest of these holes in there. Okay, now I have this all sanded down by hand, by orbital sanders, by vibrating sanders, and it's pretty slick all the way up and down. So we're going to put the Golden Oak by Minwax, and I'll stir it with a screwdriver that I opened it with. I just stir it with whatever I can get handy. Got the rubber gloves on so I don't mess up my pretty hands. And now we're just going to wipe it on. Yeah, that's going along pretty good. Want to make sure with this stain it all gets covered good up underneath everywhere. Leave no dry spots, and we'll go right on down with it. And as y'all know, who's been watching a while, oak is my favorite stain. The walking stick that is bound to demand attention when you're carrying it anywhere. Like, where in the world did you get that? Let's let it there right there and dry, and we'll be back in a couple hours and check it. I imagine it'll be dry enough to either consider putting the final finish on it or another coat of stain. So we'll see you in 2 hours. Okay, now getting my gloves on. Stain's all dry, and I'm going to put on some polyacrylic. It's water-based, and it is clear gloss is what I have here. Now, you've heard of wipe-on poly, and then you've heard of poly. And then there's poly, and then there's more poly. But I'm telling you right now, you can wipe this stuff on with no problem at all with your rubber gloves on. Now what I do to start with, I get it covered real good with a brush. And I'm going to demonstrate that right now. I cover it, make sure that every crack and cranny is covered. Right on the dimples here, put it kind of thick because I want it inside of every dimple. We go right on down the stick and make sure we get it all covered good. And then I'm going to wipe it to get a thin, nice, even coat. I found this method works best for me, and that's what I'm sharing with you. What works for me ought to work for anybody, right? Now I'm going to take my rubber glove and I'll wipe all over, up and down the stick. That's got a good coat on it now, all the way around. The dimples are full, and it don't have poly standing in the little dimples that we have. And go right on down the stick and make sure I got a good even coat. Little eye screwed in the bottom of it. I hang it upside down in my drying room back there. And if we don't like the finish on it, if we think it needs a little more, we'll just give it another coat. Well, here we are the next day, and our poly's all dry on our stick. And I want to show you what I do here. I have a piece of 400 grit sandpaper. What I do is hold it between my fingers like this, and I just go over it one time like like so, and get around all the way to the bottom. That will make it very smooth. Let's see, now see how that feels. That is slick as it can be. So we're done with this stick as far as finish goes. I decided on this the green and gray paracord that we have, 5/32. I'm gonna pull off 3 or 4 feet, get it about the middle, get it centered up, and we'll just tie a shoe knot, what I call it, right there. Turn it over, and let's do another one right there. Keep it tight, and we'll put it like that. Okay, I'm gonna have to get my CA glue out, put a little glue on it to keep it holding there. Because what I want to do here, I'm going to just I think I'm going to let a couple ends down, just hang down on that. Okay, we have the CA glue out. Put a little CA right there in that knot, and that will keep that tight all around there. Now, I had some of these wooden beads, and I buy these at off Amazon. You get the Best Buy on them, but I drill a hole in them to open them up, fit that paracord. I go just the next size over 5/32 in my set, and then I come down here and I just put it on there, and then the other one already have strung on there, so I'll put that down there. One of them I want a little shorter and one of them a little longer, so I'll cut that off right about there. And this is just for decoration on the stick, and I'll put this one down here, and then I'll take my torch and I melt the end of it like such. That will put a little round ball on the end of it, keep that bead from coming off. And I'll do the other one the same way. Just burn it till you get your little ball going on the end. Let it dry, and you'll have that ball, the bead secured on there. Get us another about a 3-foot section this time. First turn it over so it'll lay flat here. Now I want that little knot, just like we're going to tie a shoe right there. Just like that. Now we want to tie this one into a square knot. So it wants to go under and back down. That will create a slip knot, a square knot in that. Now, what I like to do with my knots is put a little dab of CA glue again right in the middle of that knot. That will keep that secure. And then come up here, and on your longest piece, you'll tie a slip knot here, and just tie it not like that. It can be simple. Don't have to be an elaborate knot. I go in that fairly snug there. Come around and Put it back through there. Now, like I say, I wouldn't worry too much about what kind of knot is there, just so it slips up and down pretty easy on your wrist, and slips up and down pretty easy there. Now let's take that knot and we will secure it again with a little. You just want to make sure that it don't get it near where this cord is going to slip through. But up here in the top somewhere, I kind of hold it back like so here, and we put a little CA glue right in that knot right there. Now with that, give it a few seconds while you put the lid on your CA and make sure it still slips through there. Okay, now we don't want anyone to accidentally pull that all the way through. So we take this, and I'll tell you what, it would add a lot to that if we put another bead on each end of these. So let's do that. So what we'll do is just slip this bead into there again. I kind of twist as I go. Yeah, there we go. There, we made it. Now, I want to burn that one at the end, and that will keep it. I think that'll do it. Let that cool a little bit. And I want to. Now remember, this paracord is supposed to be 5/32. So I go just a size over that. Got it on there. Now these wooden beads, any kind of wood bead would work with this. Now that's bigger now, that won't fall off of there. Now, I think we're done with this stick. Let's go into a review and make final comments. Well, I guess that about does it for another walking stick video. Let's take a look and see what this looks like. You notice I call this a walking stick with a hook. Now, a hook can be very useful on the end of a walking stick. Let's say you're walking out in the woods and I see a nice mulberry tree up there that has some very delicious looking berries on it. And I want to make me up some mulberry wine maybe, and I want to pick a few of those things. But I can't quite reach the limb. You got your hook handy. Just reach up there and get it, pull that limb down. You have all the berries you want right there handy. Also, if you get to climbing a hill, if it's very steep, you might want to pull yourself up. Maybe help pull yourself off the ground if you fell down. But you can take this hook, reach over there and get it behind a rock or a root of a tree, and pull yourself along or up or whatever you have to do. That's just a couple of the many ways that you can use a hook, a handy hook, on the end of a walking stick. And we got that. Now you see I put some dimples in this hand grip. And I showed you how I did that. And also the wrist strap has variegated green, and it also has some nice little beads on the end of it. I put another matching paracord there with a couple of beads hanging down on the end of that, just for decoration. So there's your hand grip. Now look at the end of this. It has some crook right there in the end of it, but this tip lines up with this edge right here. So the tick, it actually continues kind of in a straight line, makes it real stable and secure. And I believe this stick is a hardwood, very sturdy, and it's about 52 inches, 52 give or take, 53. So that's about it. All I can say now is, oh yeah, one more thing I forgot. I'm coming up on 5,000 subscribers. And I said a while back on a few videos ago that if I reached 5,000, I would have a giveaway for one of my walking sticks. And it has to be limited to the upper 48 states. I can't send it out of the country due to the high cost of shipping. After I hit 5,000, the upcoming next video will be the giveaway. And I will then give everyone a word to put in the comments. Need to hit that like button and subscribe and share it with your friends so they know about this upcoming walking stick giveaway. But I'm expecting that to be next video, so it'll be next Sunday. Other than that, go ahead and click the like button, click subscribe, and I have one thing to say now. I'll see you in the next video.